lot of nuts!
People want to talk about top fives all the time. Andre 3000, Jay-Z, shoo-ins. Drake, maybe. Kanye, of course. Big L, undebatable. But when I say my top five is Parappa the rapper, suddenly nobody wants to talk anymore. Why is nobody giving credit to the greatest rapper of our generation, huh? But Cement, what about Eminem? Stop living in the past.
One day, I robbed Dr. Dre, tied him to the bedpost like a slut, and then walked away, played my tape, and he told me to stay. Now I'm the craziest artist with the most radio play. When I was in the 3rd grade, I thought that you were gay.
Her honkers were bonkers.
Okay, maybe I'm not giving enough credit to Eminem. To be fair, her honkers were in fact bonkers. So, I mean, the lyrics stand still. But still, my point does not subside. Parappa the Rapper has been rapping for like 17 years and he has not had a single flop. He hasn't had a single number one. I'm not completely convinced he learned how to drive in stage 2, but nonetheless, what was my point here? Parappa the Rapper is a rhythm game that was released for the original Sony PlayStation back in 1997, later remastered for the PSP, and I think even for the PS4, they had a full remake. You play as Parappa, the rapper. You learn how to rap from Onion Sensei in stage 1, and then proceed through the rest of the game, just beating everybody in rap battles. It was a fantastic... It didn't do super well, obviously, but it was a cult classic. Everybody remembers the rhythms and the songs, some of which are even trending on TikTok at the moment. And while Parappa the Rapper might not have succeeded to the limits of his brother Chance the Rapper, for instance, there are still some glorious memes that we cannot discredit from the discography of Parappa the Rapper. Every single track off of the original Parappa the Rapper game is better than Hot Shower. Don't at me. Gameplay is simple. You enter a interactive cutscene where somebody is rapping along to a beat. You have to rap back the last thing they said by mashing the right buttons, DDR style, and it is way too fast for any children to keep up with. You thought Dark Souls was difficult? Try poorly rapping back a very simplistic line about making a cake, and every time you hit the wrong button, Parappa just throws up on his chest.
Making us a cake that you've never seen before. Making us a cake that you've never seen.
Bruh.
Heat up the oven, now we're on a roll. Heat up the oven, now
This shit's impossible! Next meme. Alright, I thought I clicked on a SumitoMedia video, but it turns out it's some sort of cheap Scott the Woz parody. What is this? The title still doesn't even make any sense. Can you guys relax? Huh? Hit the like and subscribe button and take a deep breath. I promise it'll all come together. It always does. You remember those old gangster animated images, like of a thug SpongeBob that people would use as like their MySpace profile picture? I'm going off the rails on this one, right? Nope. There was a very famous one during that era of images that was Daffy Duck. Several years later, was captioned to read, "I Thlammed My Penith in the car door." Hilarious and so relatable. It's like 4 times a week. Every time I'm closing the Honda Fit, it's like, dude, my cock. With the release of the newest Space Jam movie, I haven't seen it, but there is a scene where Daffy Duck is dressed in a club, looking as though he might be prepared to enter in a rap battle. And with the knowledge of this previous "I Thlammed My Penith in the car door" copy pasta, this newly animated image of HD Hood Daffy Duck, and the nostalgia driving behind Parappa the Rapper, we have got a beautiful fusion of a meme that has been born.
I slam my penis in the car door. You slam your penis in the car door.
You see? I told you it would all come together. This entire meme would make absolutely no sense to you without a little bit of knowledge of the new Space Jam movie and Parappa the Rapper, right? I told you I'd make it all come together. Maybe if you tuned in every week, you wouldn't be so stupid with all these new memes the kids are laughing at. Nonetheless, this video is incredible. Naturally, I've already watched it a dozen times. It was uploaded 3 weeks ago, and it has 8 million views. 3 weeks, this single video that is 15 seconds long has more views than my entire channel combined. To be fair, it's better than my entire channel combined, but that's not what we're here to debate. Back in 2015-2016, DC did a crossover comic between Batman and the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. They're running out of ideas. What can I say? There's a particular scene in it where Batman is explaining to Raphael that this is where he watched his parents die, referring to, of course, the unnamed assailant murdering both of his parents in Crime Alley. It makes me think of that tweet that's like, yo, not to victim blame or anything, but Batman's parents really exited a movie and walked down Crime Alley wearing fursuits and pearls? I mean, not that they were asking for it, but why Crime Alley? There have been a assortment of memes, because what exactly do you say back in this situation? Like, I've dealt with trauma dumping, people just explaining terrible things that have happened to them in the most parasocial way that I can. I'm happy to be there for you. But can you imagine Batman trauma dumping? You're like, yo, man, my ex-girlfriend, she was kind of emotionally manipulative. I watched my parents die. They were shot to death in Crime Alley, and now I defeat the darkness in this city while wearing a bat suit. And also, I don't approve of oral sex for some reason. That's not what heroes do. Batman meme taking off, people appreciating the copy pasta, Thlammed My Penith memes, teaching people how to edit in the Parappa the Rappa style. Can you guess where this goes?
This is where I watch my parents die, Parappa.
This is where you watch your parents die. Oops.
Not to harp on the same joke for too long, but I thought the Breaking Bad version was hilarious, so one more.
This is where I watched Jane die, Jesse.
Hey, Mr. White, I'm all 2D and shit, bitch. What's going on? What'd you do to me?
Transition. If someone were to thlam their penith in the car door, in real life, it would be reasonable to assume that after this predicament, you might have some swelling in your genital area. That's a reasonable train of thought. Unfortunately, Nicki Minaj has a rather difficult train of thought to follow in one of the tweets that she tweeted out like a week ago that she has caught an incredible amount of heat for. A lot of he said, she said here going on. Nicki Minaj has a cousin who won't get the vaccine because Nicki Minaj's cousin has a friend who got the vaccine and then became impotent. His friend was weeks away from getting married, and now the girl called off the wedding. Reasonable. I mean, Nicki Minaj has cousins, cousins have friends, friends have balls, and balls get swollen. But who's to say that it's due to the COVID vaccine and not due to him flamming his penith in the car door? I got a cousin back in Bangladesh who's got a dog, who's got a friend, who's got an uncle, who's got a classmate who died because they didn't subscribe to my channel. You know? I'm not saying that you have to subscribe to the channel. I'm just saying do your own research and be educated, you know? Listen, I'm not going to complain to have this story completely researched because there's a lot going on. I believe she was inactivated from Twitter for a week. She's been responding to a lot of celebrities, a lot of internet people. She's been reached out to by multiple health organizations regarding this claim, including the health organization of Trinidad.
And unfortunately, we wasted so much time yesterday running down this false claim. There is absolutely no reported side effect or adverse event of testicular swelling in Trinidad.
Absolutely no reported side effect of testicular swelling in Trinidad. I'm sure this is just people self-reporting whether or not they had any issues after they received the vaccine, but I could be wrong. If you live in Trinidad and Tobago and you are a citizen of that territory, please let me know if the government is measuring your balls before and after the vaccine. I would be very curious to partake. Hey, Sumito, I've been watching your videos lately. Your balls looking mighty heavy, king. Why, thank you, random subscriber. Yes, I did just receive the vaccine, and my future wife has decided to call off the wedding. This is a true thing that happened. If you or a loved one has received the COVID vaccine in the last 2 weeks, I highly recommend reaching out to your friends, whether they have or have not thlammed their penith in the car door, and just measure their balls. Just be like, listen, man, I'm concerned for you. I want to make sure that everything's okay. Let me measure your balls. Let me make sure they're not abnormally large. They should be about the size of grapefruits normally. That's how big mine are, and if they're any bigger, then you should probably see a doctor or get COVID. I'm not exactly sure how it works out. Nonetheless, if you have tiny balls, that's because you're not subscribed to the channel. If you have massive balls, you're clearly one of the names scrolling behind me. The Patreon boys have the biggest balls on the planet, and I'll catch your balls next week. Shpisu!